Hi everyone, student meteorologist Steve Shrenkel here with another episode of NWS History with Steve. Now, in prior episodes, we've recounted the many different transformations the National Weather Service has undergone throughout time, all the way up to the Signal Service years. In this episode, we're going to be focusing on one of the standout periods in the National Weather Service's history, which I like to call the civilian years. So please, sit back and enjoy.
As seen in the last episode, the Weather Bureau was transferred to the Department of Agriculture by Benjamin Harrison in 1890, marking it a civilian agency. This allowed the Weather Bureau to focus solely on forecast and meteorological content without the strife of the Signal Service. Official observations were taken from the Weather Bureau's Ferguson building, which was used for Washington City. This building was used as headquarters for the new Weather Bureau. There is an interesting legend that says the Ferguson building was actually the stables of the Spanish embassy. However, this legend was proven false. The Weather Bureau was under the helm of its first chief, Mark W. Harrington. Harrington had plenty of accomplishments beforehand, including founding the American Meteorological Journal in 1884. With the Weather Bureau under the operation of Harrington from 1891 to 1895, progress was continuing to occur with 41 services representing every state and territory in the U.S. At this time, a suitable method for printing out daily maps and newspapers was being implemented in various states. The Signal Corps had lobbied throughout this time that a military organization was needed in order to discipline such a widely distributed service. It was of course proven in the past that military experience and management were not needed to maintain the current weather stations. After Harrington left in 1895, the Weather Bureau then was under the direction of the new weather chief, Willis L. Moore. During his time as chief, many things took place. A list of these things included more voluntary meteorological stations being established, a new hurricane signal put into place, night forecasting was improved, and measurements in the upper atmosphere were beginning to become collected. Renewed interest in seismology took place after the devastating San Francisco earthquake occurred in 1906. After this earthquake, Chief Moore recommended the Weather Bureau to be authorized for seismological observations. At the same time, more and more research into meteorological content was being put into an observatory at Mount Weather. Some of this research was being done by taking a kite to make vertical gradients of temperature and wind direction up to several thousand feet. In 1907, the world's record for observations was broken with an altitude of 23,111 feet being reached. This helped to influence forecasts for the Washington, D.C. area. In that same year, the administrative building at Mount Weather was destroyed by a fire. There were 8 people sleeping there during that terrible mishap. These persons barely escaped with their lives, with 2 even being seriously injured. Chief Moore eventually retired, and Charles F. Marvin became the new weather chief in 1913. The research taking place at Mount Weather declined with the new chief, and Congress eventually asked for permission to sell the property. Even with this occurring, more progress within the Bureau is continuing to take place with evaporation measurements now being collected and everything seemingly running smoothly. However, there was a looming cloud about to cross the Bureau's path. The Weather Bureau is about to face one of its toughest challenges by the way of the world wars.
Thank you for watching this episode of NWS History with Steve. If you want to see some more great content, be sure to check out our Twitter page at CalUWS, our Facebook page, California University of Pennsylvania Meteorology, our Instagram page, CalUWS, and our YouTube channel, CalUPA Meteorology. Thank you again, and I hope you tune in next time.